Hey everybody, we're here to do a very quick, couple minute long tips and tricks for Google Notebook LM for teachers. So if you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that this is mainly a student facing tool, or at least how it's designed. So I'm going to tell you how to really hack it and make it really great for generating content for your classrooms. So before we do that, you need to understand the layout here. So on Notebook LM, on the left side, you've got sources. This is all the information that you feed it. You've got the chat, which is the interface in between the sources and the studio. And the studio is what it builds out of your content on the left. So let's first talk about some tips for sources. So the first thing you have to understand is that this tool really relies on the data that you give it. This is not going to dive deep into the web or make assumptions on what you need. You really need to tell it what you want to work with and then be very, very selective. In the chat here, this is where you interface in between this side and this side. The chat is where you tell it what you want it to output or ask it to fine tune certain things from the left. It's really just an assistant to interface between the two. Now, here's a really cool tip with the chat. So tip number one, configure your notebook. So when you go up here, you can customize this chat. And I always tell people to tell it to ask you permission before it generates studio content. This is really, really important because you don't get a lot of free content generation with Notebook LM. You get a very limited amount, sometimes only 3 a day for audio and video and slide presentations. So you notice I told it here in the custom, I am a teacher using this to customize outputs. Please do not automatically generate a studio output without asking me first. And I tell it specifically how to ask me and then to wait for an affirmative yes from me. This is super important. Let me save this because sometimes it will just generate things that it thinks you want. And if it does that, it's wasting your very limited amount of these. So ask it for confirmation. Tip number one. So let's go back to one that I've already completed. And let's see, let's go to the Civil War Underground Railroad. So tip number two, be very selective when you select your sources. So if you are searching for sources and it gives you some, you need to make sure you don't just automatically select everything it gives you. Sometimes it will give you a rogue website that might be on some specific off-topic but related content. So when I was doing the Underground Railroad project here, it gave me something about quilting and how quilts were some sort of communication method in the Underground Railroad. Now, had I kept that, I might have found it generate some weird content about quilting in my slide deck. I don't want that, so I need to make sure that I preview and just carefully select what I'm actually asking it to refer from. And also, if you're uploading documents to this, make sure they're very clear primary source type material. If you give it something that has written notes on it, or it might get confused with, then it might hallucinate. And then if it hallucinates, it's going to give you information that you don't want. Like if you uploaded a test and a student had written on it and given them like a submission of a writing response, it might actually start giving you a presentation about the writing response the student made. So you have to really treat it like primary source documents. And if you add something that it can get confused on, you have to actually tell it to avoid that. So that's your tip with sources. Now, when you're working in here, notice in some of my chats here, it will ask me before it wants to generate things. So be very careful in here. If you customize it like I told you to, it shouldn't generate the infographic unless you tell it to. See right here, it says, would you like me to go ahead and generate it? And I said, yes, go ahead and generate the mind map. And then it generates the mind map. So be very careful with that. Now, you don't have to use the chat to generate content. You can actually do it right up in here. Now, if you'll notice that some of these studio items have little arrows, if you see an arrow, use the arrow. Never just click right here or right here. If you click on any of these without giving it specifics in the chat or over here, then it's going to actually just generate it based on its assumptions of your project. So if I just click on video overview without giving it any specific guidance, it's just going to read all of this stuff here and do a video overview. And it might not be exactly what you want. So you either need to go into the chat and really hammer down the details and then tell it here to submit it, or you need to go here and you need to click on the little arrow, and then the little arrow will bring up a customized menu. Okay, so in this customized menu, this is where you really want to get into the weeds. Now, if you've done this in the chat, that's fine. You can actually just paste it into here, although there is some character limits here. Or you can just avoid the chat and just tell it what you want right here. Notice this is a new one, cinematic. Very cool. Cinematic actually will give you actual visuals that look like moving videos, whereas Explainer gives you more like a slide deck with dictation over the slide deck. So it really depends on the purpose, but cinematic is very, very cool depending on your topic. So you've got lots of options here. The tip there is make sure you select the arrows because you get limited amounts of these. So if you're not being very specific with what you want, you're going to waste them. So other than that, new one. Let me tell you something new about slide presentations. So in the slide presentations, this is a new feature. So if I look at this slide presentation, Constellations of Courage, pretty much similar as before, really great slide presentation. There's two new features here. One is that there's a revise icon here. So if you click on the revise, you can actually ask it to change things inside the slides. And this wasn't here before. So if you're not happy with a specific verbiage of a slide and you want to change the way it is presented, you can ask it down here to modify that slide. Now, you might actually get charged for, I don't mean charged, but you might get, you might use a new resource generation here and it might limit your daily supply. So be careful. Another thing that's very cool is you can actually download these into PowerPoint. Now that sounds better than it actually is, but if you do the download in PowerPoint button here, you will get a presentation that can be opened in PowerPoint, but it does treat all of this as one image. So you can't go in and just edit text inside the PowerPoint, which is a little bit lame, but it's at least easier to delete and add your own slides and such. Another tip, I don't know what tip number this is, but if you're using that feature and you want to create your own slides inside of this presentation, ask NotebookLM to make you a solid color background, because that way when you add your own slides, you can very much replicate the style by having the same solid color background. Whereas here, I can't really put this constellation background in. So that's most of what I have for you today. The things over here that are really great for your students are going to be infographics. They're going to be video overviews, audio interviews, and slide decks. Those are my favorites. Reports is actually really good for doing like study guides and such. So you can ask it to generate a report of a study guide. So you can do that with a little arrow here, or you can do it down here. I don't find much use for flashcards, data tables, or quizzes, but that's mainly because those operate inside this platform. But if you're trying to build presentation materials for your students, this is an amazing tool. I think this was a little bit longer than I intended, but I hope you enjoyed. Follow my page for more cool ed tech videos. Thank you for watching.